Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How are you all doing? Welcome back to Home Sweet Home. Welcome to week number 8 of Home Sweet Home. We're in the final week of this tournament. It has been a long ride, but it culminates here in week number 8.
It does. 10 weeks overall with a 2-week break in between, right? We've had a little bit of a ride, but as you said, it all comes down to this. It feels like the epiphany, the epitome of everything. And, well, we are going to be jumping straight into our first order, or our first thing of the day. Of course, we're going to have best of ones. We haven't seen them in a little while, you and I, but we're going to have Movistar Riders, AGO, Group A kick it off here for the first match. And later on, it's going to be, of course, North versus Ambush. So this Group A, quite stacked, quite strong, and it's going to be a fun day, to say the very least.
Yeah, it's a very, very nice group in terms of the teams that we've got on display here. Movistar Riders and North looking like the teams that should be topping the group here in terms of Group number A. But you've got some sleeper teams, or maybe some underdogs in terms of XCOM, AGO, and Ambush, who have both looked very good, especially in these best of ones as well, where we know that teams can grab the cheeky little upsets off of the back of this, and especially with North, they lost their opening best of one last week as well, which sent them, if we recall, back into the lower bracket. So, that was where their downfall was. So, yeah, you look at the group that we've got on hand here, and there's definitely some upsets and some games that could go either way. I mean, this map between Movistar Riders and XCOM AGO, it's fairly even. It's like 50% or around that for both of these two teams, coming in at 50% for AGO and 56% for Movistar Riders in terms of win rate. So it's a very, very middle ground map. But in these best of ones, that's where the unpredictable factors come in.
Oh, absolutely. I think we've expressly discussed this quite a little, or extensively discussed this quite a little bit. And of course, in front of us, we can see the brackets being put out. So, we have a bit of a better visualization. And as you said, best of ones, they're very hit and miss for some teams. And what comes to mind immediately to me is Complexity's run of the mill for the last 4 weeks, where every single time they've lost the best of one. This week, we'll see if it's going to be a repeat of that, if that is going to happen again, of course. I'm not going to be saying it is, but there's definitely chances for that, right, given the historical performance of theirs. But I got to say, usually when you would look at this kind of matchup in front of our very eyes, AGO versus Movistar Riders, given what Movistar Riders have been doing lately and how good they've been performing, I'd have to pin it on them for them to be the ones to most likely take the series. But then again, it is a best of one. And AGO, I mean, they're still not as bad as one might imagine. They might be a little bit of a hit and miss themselves. But I'll be damned if they'll let this one slip that easily. We know how good AGO can be. We know who they have. Oskarish comes to mind immediately for me. And I'm just happy to see them play again. And I hope it's going to be a quality best of one and not some sort of a quick run of the mill.
Yeah, for sure. Especially, like you say, with the fact that Movistar Riders at the moment, they seem to have really kick-started their team to action. I think Steele, since he's come into this squad, has taken that little bit of settling time, but he's now looking really good in terms of leading the squad. And you look at the players that he's got under his tenure and who he's got to play with. Iastor is a very consistent AWP. He's nothing crazy in terms of flicks, but can do that in terms of performance. But you look at players like Alex and Moppers, who in the previous iteration of this lineup with deaths and such, they were quiet. They had maps where they would definitely disappear. But you look at Alex now, and he's bringing out, the capability of 25 to 30 frags a map, and the way that he's been able to unlock his potential. Steele seems to be doing a really good job of now getting on the same page as these players. Even in the road to Rio, they had some great games against some of the top tier teams in that entire bracket. But like you say, you cast over to XCOM AGO, and they've got a very interesting squad. As we know, we've spoken a lot about the mind of Furlan and Oskarish working together. We know that they've got an extensive roster in terms of the depth that they can go. we know the Polish teams, they always seem to work very well tactically, and especially now that they've started to gain a lot of good results playing, the majority of weeks of Home Sweet Home. We've seen them week in, week out playing, best of threes, best of ones, looking very, very good. All this side seems to now finally be connecting in terms of Furlan is not as reliant upon, micromanaging the squad as much. We've got the younger players like your MHLs in here and your Fikus who are these prodigy type players, but they don't seem to need as much, micromanagement and consistently do this, do that. They seem to be now allowing Fiku to lurk and be that supportive flanker role that we know he can be, and the side seems to be really working together tactically now.
I would say it's more than just that, right? There's beyond as you said, micromanaging, right? That's something that definitely has to happen to a certain degree. But I have to concur, as you said, the amount that has to be invested now is a lot less than what we used to see, especially from Oskarish and his old teams from Luminar and such. There's more freedom, feels like, given to the players, and I think that also opens up new venues for opportunity. In the case of for Argo, I think that's exactly what they needed, right? They needed something to change enough to see the change, but not enough to really destroy what they've built up to this point. And I think they've done a good transition with Oskarish. I really do, and I just hope they're able to stick to it. They've got a strong team on their hands, effectively, and I have no doubt in my mind that they will be able to perform even better moving forward. Again, time is the factor here. The longer you give them, the better the chance they'll have to perform. Well, the higher the chance they'll perform better, because obviously practice and everything makes better. But beyond that, I have to also touch on the subject of Movistar Riders, man. They've been a big surprising factor in my eyes, at least. When we saw them for the first time 2 years ago, you would have never thought that a team from Spain, from Portugal, or a mixed team from Spain and Portugal, I guess, well, primarily Spanish, but that they would be able to reach the heights they are today. I was not. I will admit there was doubt. There was definitely, in my mind, I was never really believing in the fact that they would be able to break through to the top scene. And I am so happy I was wrong, because they have shown us, at least in the last few weeks, the last time we casted, I believe, was the 6th week. I could be wrong.
Yeah, it would have been like 5 or 6, yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to double check, of course, but it was a surprising amount of quality coming from them, and just the general vibe they were giving off and how they performed was just, okay, guys, you clearly have done your job. You've clearly done your homework. You've clearly prepared for this. You're running quality defaults. You know what you're doing. You're pretty much doing everything right. Maybe you're just losing duels at times, but for the most part, this is exactly what you would hope to see from any team you're casting. And well, I hope they will be able to repeat that today. And as you said, Steel seems to really have found his way in this squad.
Especially this version of the roster, right? Back when they had like Mixwell and the older iterations of the squad, that's the squad that you expect on name value alone to maybe get you to that sort of top 30 precipice. But it's interesting that now they've taken, maybe not a massive risk in terms of bringing in a player like Steel, because the language that they speak is fairly similar. Portuguese and Spanish is, it's a very you can switch languages and still understand the majority. So again, it's not a massive risk, but for Steel, it definitely was a risk, taking the leap to move out of America and head over to the EU scene. Sure, he plays, back in the MIBR lineups and Luminosity of old, he was playing the lands every week. He was traveling constantly, big stages. Whereas he's now playing the majority of his games online. He's playing those scrimmy MDL matches. But I think for a player of his level right now, is really looking very, very solid. But before we get into this game, of course, we have got to mention, as it is the final week, we've gone all out for you. We've gone all out to provide you a giveaway with Skin Baron, of course. Now, there's a lot on offer. There's voucher codes. There is a knife, a Damascus steel, and there is a beautiful M4A1S skin on offer. Make sure you head over to @the_esports_bible on Twitter. Check out the pinned link. Get yourselves some nice skins. It's week 8. It's the final week. Of course, we're going to give back to you, because after this week, we are out of here. We're done with Home Sweet Home.
Oh, man.
It's your last chance. If you want to enter, you got to do it this week.
It feels wrong to end this, right? It's like home
Seriously,
sweet
it does,
home.
right?
We're all at home. Everybody's enjoying it. But yeah, Damascus steel, man, I love it. The M9 bayonet is beautiful. It's probably one of my favorite knives, and
Yeah.
I think the M4 is like Friends Plus One or something called the very like it's a
It's one of the
beautiful
newer
M4.
ones, right?
Yeah, it's one of the
Yeah.
newest additions, and I'll admit I haven't been in the skin department for a little while. I used to trade a lot, but now I'm a little bit rusty on that. So you'll have to forgive my ignorance at
Yeah,
times
me
for
too.
that. But beautiful skin. So guys, like Kieran said, go check out the giveaway. All the details are provided on the Twitter of the Esports Bible. You can just retweet, I believe, and tag a few friends like it, and I think you are eligible then to basically participate in the giveaway. But in any case, I believe slowly and steadily, we are also going to be ready for the game to begin. Now, I'm not going to jump the gun yet because as far as I can tell, the players are not yet even there. Well, they're there. They're just AFK on the server. So I guess we can quickly touch on the subject of Train then.
Yeah.
I don't think we really had the moment yet. Train, man. A map that every single time we see Polish teams play, it's either the first map in a best of 3,
Yes.
or it's the only map in a best of 1. So it's like, what is it going to be, guys? Are you going to be actually just playing Train for it? Like, this is, for me, it's a little bit scary because when you think about it, Train, it's one of the hardest maps. You're going up against Movistar Riders who have proven to be a very tough opponent against great teams. So what's the catch? Again, for Ago, we kind of know. It's a Polish map. It's always been a Polish map. Train, a hard map to play, but when you put your mind to it, when you put your foot down, it can definitely work. What do you expect?
Yeah, I mean, statistically, it's one of the better maps for Movistar Riders, scarily. I mean, you look at it and it's like 56% win rate. They've even outclassed Ago in terms of their win rate, only by 6%, but it's very minimalistic.
Yeah.
But Movistar Riders, they've played against the likes of Endpoint and Saw recently, two teams that, again, are not on the same level of the Road to Rio teams that they were playing, and they've still taken defeats in terms of their most recent games on Train. Now, as we jump into the knife round here for this first map, it does definitely bring in a cause for concern, of course, when you look at this, and as we know, every Polish team plays this map, which scarily is probably going to be Movistar's downfall. Facing a very comfortable side on a very comfortable map in a best of 1. That's almost the worst case scenario that Movistar have gotten here. I was expecting to be playing more of a map like Inferno or Dust 2, more of a middle ground map, Mirage even to be a factor. Train for me just feels like a risk on the Spanish side because of how comfortable Ago can be.
Absolutely. It definitely feels like in my mind this can go only two ways. There's no real middle ground. It's either going to be hard domination by Ago or hard domination by Movistar Riders. I don't feel like this is going to be a game where we're going to be seeing extra OTs or something. And I'm already jinxing it, I know. But it's just what we've usually seen from Ago is they either dominate Train in a way you would just bow your head and say, oh my, you know, that's amazing, or they get blasted hard into oblivion. So at this point, I mean, looking at the past performances, Ago Endpoint, OT twice, then you have Skate versus Skate, they lost versus Endpoint, then they lost again. And then I'm speaking just for Home Sweet Home, of course. Against Singularity, they're able to take a victory, but then they lost against Salamander. Like, there's been quite a few losses in between, but let's hold on to that thought for a second. Lowell and Alex, the pistol already live, and we're kicking it off with a bang. NHL! Oh my, quick frags.
Incredibly, Ago straight onto the A-bomb site. Not a cause for concern at all, though, as Movistar Riders deal with it incredibly simply. BQ trying to push connector early in the round did not work at all. Pistol round goes to Movistar Riders. That'll give them a nice little 1-0 start, and especially, like we've premised, being on this sort of map, this is where you want to see them taking that early advantage and really pushing Ago to the test. Now, no force buy out of Ago. As to be expected, they didn't get a bomb plant. They were very unsuccessful in terms of the kills that they got, so no extra cash really on this side. That will put them down on to just a single eco. A buy into the next will come, of course, but it gives them a chance, especially with these MP9s, just to start racking up the early money. Both Steel and Alex finding 2 kills to start this one. Burlat Like the idea, sneak out through heaven, see if he can maybe catch a player off, but unfortunately that's not going to happen. A very easy second round for Movistar Riders, as it should be, but it is Aggo that will be buying into the next. But a solid start for the CT side. We'll see what they can do in the gun round. MHL, is he going to glass cannon that AWP early? No, not going to take the risk, just down to the rifles.
Yeah, it's not worth it, especially when you know you're up against SMGs, right? You want to make sure you're going to be able to control any quick plays or anything of the like. A glass cannon, I mean, it's not the worst option when you think about it going against rifles, but then again, it's not exactly going to help you much when you're handling MP9s. But look at this. Aggo, heavy presence being made towards B upper. And they seem to have an inclination to go for this B hit. Yes, they do. Grubby keeps on pushing. The surprise factor is there as Mopos gets caught. And that's going to be a big hit. Molotov already into connector. Movistar Riders, MR, are locked out of B site. It's lost. It's going to be a 4 and 5 retake. And I have to say, this is a perfect idea for Aggo. Quick and easy. And they will be able to clean up the backlines of CT, or at least somewhat Grubby able to diminish that. Although Steel is able to return one. But this retake, I mean, again, let's be fair. Chances are Movistar Riders might actually just pull back. They already lose. Yeah, that's it. I mean, they're not going to pull back, sure, but they lose the round regardless of what they do here. There is no chance they have to win, and indeed they don't. Aggo, I love this quick change of pace. This is what, you know, this is exactly what they needed. They need to surprise Movistar Riders and try to build up a little bit of a commotion in their own mind.
Yeah, very quick push out to the B site. You could see they were not expecting that in the slightest there on the side of Movistar Riders. You can see what sort of effect it has here. They've got a couple players on decent cash, but it's going to force them majoritively down into an eco. They aren't able to fully invest into this round. So, Aggo, they pretty much righted the wrong to the pistol round. There should be a 2-on-2 or 2-2-2 coming on the scoreboard. Well, we'll try to put the pressure into Pop Dog. Furlan already a step ahead of the game, unfortunately. These Desert Eagles so far not being put to much use. Furlan will try and apply the pressure, gets away with the second as well, sees the third on the back of the bomb site. Should be a fairly simple shutdown, and this is what we like to see from these type of rounds. Very clinical, making sure that the Deagles do not have a chance to overrun them. Sure, you know, losing one player or so is pretty average in a round like this, but seems like Aggo might even just be getting away with a clean round, and that's exactly the case. That is what you like to see from an anti-eco round, keeping all their players alive, stacking that early bank. Oh, double AWP out straight away. Did I just see there?
Yeah, that tells you that Movistar Riders right now are a little bit furious that they were bamboozled 2 rounds almost in a row. Double up, Astor and Alex. Fair enough. Let's see where it gets them.
I do like this, especially with Alex picking up the secondary AWP. He did this back in the previous time that we saw them. And it was actually fairly efficient in terms of they were linking together very, very nicely. However, we'll see. Oskarish and Furlan already getting the 2 entries. Steel trades back, but not that it makes any difference. Both of the AWPs now wiped out of the situation. Good angle by Steel, but only gets away with a single return. He's already pounced upon by Furlan. And well, that just leaves Mopos. Good denial of the AWP, but there is a rotate option available to now head down toward that B site. That is what they will do. We'll see where it takes them. Mopos. Oh, already spotted inside of Connect to the bomb. Now allowed to move to the site. Gruby cannot afford to die here, though. Does need Furlan in support. Catches the angle. Has to wait for the rotate.
Needs to wait, yeah.
Yeah, definitely cannot afford the risk of the plant. Although Furlan, I think the timing...
Oh! Whoa!
Wait a second!
Oh!
No!
Oh my, come on! Oof. That cuts it extremely close. And I will only say that Aggo, they like to play the odds, surely. But Movistar Riders, that should give them a little bit more... a bit more confidence, I guess you could say, right? I mean, given that they almost pulled off a 2-on-4, a 2-on-5. No, yeah, it was a 2-on-4 with, of course, I believe it was Steel and Mopos. Yeah, well, Mopos the last, of course, but Steel was the one to get a few refracts here and there. And this time, Grubby gonna be alone in brown holes. Where's the support? Aggo. They seem to be a bit disheveled. They're not really sure what they should be doing, as they will make the A play. They've lost an AK already, and a 4-on-4 is still not completely set in stone for Ago. But they seem to be, yeah, they seem to be well enough organized to make sure this does not get out of hand. Mopos, he's got an angle of attack, perhaps. Well, he does have one, but not necessarily favorable. 4-2 as Excomago will take the lead, and this is a lightning fast retaliation from Excomago. I got to say, I did not expect them to be able to just run over riders this easily.
Yeah, first 2 rounds in a row to the CT side, and Ago replying with 4 of their own. It's definitely a scary prospect, especially with Ago being on this T side. Generating rounds this early is, especially in a best of 1, a very dangerous factor for Movistar riders. And again, with an eco round, it's, you know, one that you do have to give up. They get away with an AK save, but again, we'll see what they can do coming up in this next gun round. They do have to start performing, or else Ago will be beginning to really make an uprise here in this one and only map of this series. Will they go for secondary AWP? Of course they will. Alex back on the reinvestment. Both of them glass cannon, interestingly enough. This is a massive risk that Movistar riders are taking. Nearly $10,000 just left, or more than $10,000 just left on its lonesome in terms of the utilities and the AWPs themselves. Now, we know that AWPs don't particularly need a Kevlar behind it to be popping off with the kills, but this sort of a risk, they do have to be incredibly careful. Alex already challenged down towards Ivy by MHL. The rest of Ago into a pretty flat default. No reason to overextend. And right now, this is the perfect game plan for them. They know that they've got Movistar riders on the ropes quite early. They know they'll be playing pretty defensive rather than up in their faces aggressive. Nice little connection onto Steel. I don't know if they would have heard the damage done, but at least gives them something to play off of. Molotov will now force him back. There's the sound cue, knowing that someone is at least in pop dog. Here comes the double drop. It actually pays off as they get the trade. Beautiful. A bit of a risky move, but it all depends how they work this now. There's still no push out of Ago, no commitment really, so maybe a little wasted, but here comes the A-sided execution now. A little late, but it can definitely pay off.
40 seconds, yeah, it's gonna give them a very small window of opportunity here. Excomago need to do this flawlessly. And well, here comes the cavalry. It's gonna be Alex holding the line, spots the second, takes the second peek, will be failing it though. Fiku, an immediate reply gives him the return as Lovell will be waiting patiently in connector. Maybe his chance here is to walk through the smoke, deny the plant, but that is gonna be extremely dangerous to do so. Oh, wait, what? What the heck? That was through the smoke, was it not, Furlan? 8 seconds, time is ticking, and all of a sudden, we are now in a 2-on-2 that is absolutely winnable for Movistar riders. And I gotta say, it's also necessary for them to win this if they wish to have any success in this first half. Keep in mind, the CTs are reliant upon their own economy, and Mopos, he might miss this timing. This is gonna be crucial. Yeah. I mean, again, he was walking in the right direction, he was watching the right direction, but unfortunately he was not ready for the off-angle challenge as his rifle was peeking out before anything, and yeah, 5-2, Excomago. They'll prove as to why this map should be considered their very own.
Yeah, for certain. This is making Movistar riders look very amateur, especially this being the CT side. They can't afford to give Ago the first half victory here, not on a best of 1. Seems like that should be the case coming up here right now. Astor gets tagged down, doesn't lose his life, but well, he keeps the AWP out of the Ago hands. Not that they want it, they just want to deny it. The rest on pistols, it's going to be quite a hard round for Movistar riders to play, especially again with Ago really just, rather than dedicating into these rushes and into these site takes, just playing a flat default, taking over the most important positions on this map. And that's exactly what you want to see from a side like this. And so far, you can tell that it is working. Desert Eagles to come up against. The AWP already tagged. Might be thinking about switching it with Lowell, perhaps, just to keep it alive. But either way, Ago seem to have the run of the mill so far, getting 5 rounds so far out of the 7 that have been available. Showing a very confident sign right now. It is more of a B-sided commit, though, as we can see, potentially, which might be a little cause for concern. Movistar Riders stacking up to this bomb site, but the utility thought it was going to be good enough, but Mopos gets away with the first, finds the second. The Desert Eagles finally turning up this time as Furlan and MHL left in a 2-on-3.
Astor, Steel, and Alex. They must win this round. It's no longer a question of if, but they must. Well, the answer is they will, as Astor closes it out. Beautiful final shot to conclude it, and it is 3 rounds to Riders. They are not going to let this one slide too fast, as Excomago a little bit frivolous in their attack. We can see, like, just look at the area where everybody died from Excomago. Yeah. They're all just lined up on that ramp down low B. Basically, everybody getting shut down by the time they get to the bomb site. And Movistar Riders given a little bit of a lucky charm there. Still not going to be enough, though. It's 2 rounds that they're trailing behind with, and with a double up back in action, it could be quick to. They could be quick to jump to a tie. Although I wouldn't put Excomago out of commission just yet. So let's see how this goes.
Yeah, thankfully they've got money saved up on this T side. No reason to be worrying about the bank itself. Although, Lowell does get denied. Fiku, good entry. Alex able to trade it back.
Oh, no.
The first shot traded 3 for 2. And this works out as MHL. Astor only gets to tag. The window broken, gives him the clear shot, and MHL connects. Moppa's trying to sneak on by and will be able to counter Fiku, but again, down to a 1-on-2. He's got utility, but no offensive grenades to play with. No HEs or Molotovs. We'll be able to drop the smoke onto the site, at least force the peek out here, and it works actually as Oscarish now isolating MHL into the 1-on-2. The angle not paying off this time. Inside the smoke will go for the defuse, gets nothing. The tag to finish with the Glock on the P250.
What
just comes down to milliseconds as Ago do snatch the round, but barely.
What is this game, man? How, like, this is where Mopos really plays a beautiful sneak. Like, you know, he drops the smoke, he forces Oscarish out of position. But this right here, this is the craziest of all. MHL, he was behind Electro. He even got blinded by that flash of Mopos, excuse me. And he was able to time somehow, obviously unawares, his hidden location Electro in a way that Mopos, when he angled the position, he didn't see him cross. And, well, that leg shot as well, a lucky stride for Mopos. Unfortunately, the P250 was just too much. And Mopos, this time, opening it up, steal the second. This is another B hit that seems to be failing for Argo. I'm not sure what they're thinking here. Just look at how they're entering the site, 1 by 1 for the moment. Luckily, Furlan gets 1 in return. Grubby gonna push in hard to try and change it back into, well, a 1-on-3 and a 3 on none. I gotta point out, Excomago, I'm not sure what they're doing with these frivolous B rushes. It just doesn't work. They've already failed hard against a semi-buy last round, or a few rounds ago. Now they fail again against the full buy round. Timeout though for the first time here for Movistar Riders.
Yeah, that B bomb site seems like it might have to be ignored in terms of Ago, especially when they're running those sort of setups. The faster play, the commit down ramp, very limited on the utility side. You could see, again, they all died at the forefront entry of that bomb site, just showing that they were not able to get onto the site as confidently as they would have liked. And we can see now with money that is gone for the side of Ago, they will have to play into an eco. A couple of players can maybe buy into the Mac 10s, perhaps with the Hero AK buys potentially, which is seeming like what they might actually do. Okay, they are going to full commit this. Fair enough. They will be able to get a full investment, leaving Groovy down onto a Deagle, but again, it's definitely worth it to have a more convincing buy round. Hopefully, doesn't come back to haunt them though this time. Oscarish straight through the Molotov, already spotted. Alex finds 1 already. Ooh, the angle was countered. Steel does get spotted. Yeah, at least they trade the kill, thankfully. Fiku takes out a second. The Astor good return though, back to a 3-on-3.
Shame that he goes that aggro, but he spots Lowell pushing forward, gives the info to Fiku. An immediate retaliation coming through for Excomago. Astor in sandwich, missing his shot. Of course, an unpredictable angle to take. And Mopos, though, will connect, and he drops the bomb belonging to Fiku. Grubby, he's got an AWP, but he's not really using it right now. I'm not sure what his, like, Deagle in hand. It's a bit of a lucky streak, but he does get it. He's... I was like, Grubby, he's handling a deagle because he's unsure perhaps of himself. He's not sure what he should be doing. You know, excuse me, let me rephrase that. Not what he should be doing, but rather, you know, what he will be facing. And then he gets the shot on Fiku, of course, or excuse me, on in this case, I believe it's Mopos or Lowell, but he gets the shot. It's a one-on-one, and he falls back. You can see the angle being widened by the CTs through Electro, and all of a sudden he pulls out the op and just goes ham-tastic. That is magnificent. Oh, this timing, though, you gotta be kidding me. Karma is a B.
Oh dear.
Okay.
Ruby on a roll, gets 3 away with the eco at least. Final 2 wrapped up. Ago, first half already in their back pockets. 8 rounds on the board already. Movistar Riders looking like they are threatened here so far, and again the rebuy will come. Double AWP again to be a potential, of course it is. Alex will be able to guarantee that secondary AWP. Went for utility rather than the Kevlar, interestingly enough. Did have 750, so would have afforded mini Kevlar, but goes for the smoke and nade instead. Interesting start, as already damage has been done. Burning in the Molotov allows Furlan to go super aggro. Spots the corner. Ayastor gets away with the frag at least. Alex the second, Oscarish. Bit of a wider peak, although Fiku, step ahead of the game, returns 1 frag, plays the flashbang. Groovy dead though. Second flash to come through, but doesn't make a difference. Again, Ago just looking a little sloppy in terms of these site takes. Sending players in 1 by 1 is not the way to be doing this. And sure, they're looking confident on this T side, but they can't rely on heroics. They do need to play as a convincing team, a convincing unit. And Movistar Riders, no issue with dispatching the setup of Ago here. Double AWP working out well, but Ago offering themselves up for a little bit of a freebie in some of those kills.
Well, I mean, Ago did make it a little bit harder for themselves to do anything, but we are going to be having a little bit of a slowdown and a little bit of a cooldown. Ago will have to work with just pistols and nades. And this is the classic maneuver we just saw being attempted. Nades being thrown deep into backside A, usually either in towards that position or stop sign where there's a player either kind of waiting for an engagement or something. In any case, Movistar Riders, you know, they've got 5 rounds, sure. They most likely pick up the 1 more here. But let's be fair, like this is already with the half going to XCOM, a dangerous precedence being set, and more rounds potentially still going their way, at least 1 more potentially. It's a little bit scary. It definitely is, you know, of concern as Movistar Riders. They are waking up. That's a good sign, but it's also taken them quite a few rounds, quite a few moments here to actually grab themselves by the bees and do something about it. 50 seconds. XCOM, are they going to be... Yeah, they're going to be walking all the way to Ivy. They want to surprise Riders. I get this. You know, they want to waste a little bit... let me rephrase that. Not waste, but they want to maybe grab more time in the round itself to maybe talk out a few tactical issues they might have or go through or something. Oh, Alex. Oh, Alex, my dear boy. That is not going to work. That's a little bit harsh, really.
Damage done as well. Pistols might get an easier trade here. This round scarily still doable. Furlan.
Oh, I don't even want to touch the subject right now.
Thankfully, Mopos denies, but MHL, there it is!
Oh, no way.
They give them a free AWP, and that's what they'll do with it. The Deagles collaborating, but it's a 9th round for XCOM Ago. And the money is gone for Movistar Riders. 3 players just can't afford a fall by.
How do we make this... Like... I am just completely lost for words as to what they just allowed to happen. And, well, Movistar Riders, this is exactly the issue I tried to point out at the start of the round. They seemed a little bit slow. They seemed to take a few rounds to wake up. but seemingly it's not enough, even close. And this is potentially a clean round at 10-5 half for Argo. Yeah, they lose MHL, sure, but that's a 10-5 half for Argo. And this is just crazy, crazy times. Furlan, 18-9.
Right.
Damn.
2.0 KD and the IGL of this squad. He is having the game of his, the best game you'd want to have to start off a day. This is exactly what they're looking for. Movistar Riders, they are in trouble. 10-5 CT side for Ago starting here, as pistol round is going to be that huge decider on the projection of this best of one. If Ago take it, an opportunity to put them up to 13-5 if the force buy rounds or ecos go as they should. But this lies on the shoulders of Movistar Riders here. Moppo's just trying to bait the early angle. See what he can find on that main position. Ivy to be contested by Movistar Riders. No commitment yet to come, of course. They don't want to overextend here in this kind of position, but and it's a very risky pistol round that Movistar Riders, they have to play pristinely, unfortunately. They can't give anything to Ago here, and you can see with players sort of testing the waters. Furlan, hello there we go. First kill, second as well. This is perfect so far. Ago, it's going to be a B-sided commit, but they've got the two-man advantage now.
And they've got two already ready on B. Fiku gets headshotted, but he will be trying to stay alive, which midair. There we go. Going for the style points. Beautiful to see, beautiful to watch and enjoy. And MHL taking a fight. Woo! This is a little bit dangerous. Excamago, you just dropped the deuce on yourself, on your own head here. As Furlan now in a 1-on-2. He finds one. He's ready for the final connection. Oh, the fake plant. The classic. Lowell. Woo! Headshots! And Lowell saves it. Second pistol to Movistar Riders. And that is all thanks to the overconfidence and the overcommitment of XCOM Argo. Otherwise, this round would be almost surely gone. That is all on Argo there. MHL and I believe it was Fiku, yeah, that were leaving themselves wide open on B and not waiting for the rest of their teammates. Well, it suits them right. Movistar Riders, they need at least something to grab on. And let's see if this is the round, or this is, the reason that they potentially come back with now.
Yeah, this pistol round seems to have maybe tilted Ago a little bit more than they would have liked. A 4-on-2, losing in that kind of scenario and manner is not a good way to be going about business. Simple cleanup so far of the force buy round of Ago. This should be 10-8 on the horizon. EQ does get away with one, but I doubt that will change the course of the round so far. They've got players already watching MHL's location. Easy cleanup of him at least. Leaving Fiku isolated, already being hunted by Steel. Could be the kill coming through, and of course it is. 10-7. This is perfect for Movistar Riders. What better way to get back into a series and capitalize on your opponent's failures? And that's what exactly they're looking to do here. A little bit of a technical pause to come. Picking the side of Ago, hopefully not as difficult. Seems like they got a little bit of a TeamSpeak problem. Hopefully nothing too major.
Surely nothing too major. Speaking of major things, though, and not about the major itself, but rather about the giveaway, make sure to check it out at the Esports Bible on Twitter. Make sure to retweet and like. Follow both Skin Baron and Esports Bible. Of course, Skin Baron providing the skins for the giveaway. And I believe the final two pieces there are also that you have to tag 2 friends. So if you have friends, which usually you have, tag anybody. You can tag me and Kieran if you want, at Vortex Kieran and over Seard. Or, you just, I mean, surely you have some friends. We're not all without friends here, but it's going to be the M9 Bayonet as one of the prizes, as well as the M4A1S Player 2, of course, skin, and the Damascus Steel Bayonet. So it's beautiful, beautiful stuff great skins for your liking and 10 vouchers for Skin Baron. In either case, let's continue as the pause seemingly is undone. The game will find its way back into continuous motion, and so shall Riders. They will find themselves the 8th round, and now the real challenge presented as the AWP is up. The double AWP is up. Ooh la la.
The game that Furlan's having right now, I think it's only necessary to put him on the second AWP, right? So with the 21 frags to his name so far, we'll be looking to extend the mark. Movistar Riders. Single AWP on to Eastor. Still keeping those MAC 10s up for the bonus, but it's on steel. They can afford to do that. Tomago, this is a vital round for them. This second AWP, a hefty purchase, as we know. BQ spots out the early info, drops the Molotov, forces Movistar Riders to play that a little bit more passively, but they'll sit behind it. They don't need to worry. Smoke down now provides them a little bit of cover. The commitment, the flashbang, a little late though as Fiku already gets away with the first. MHL finds the second. Sure, a trade from Eastor, but Fiku, he's putting the pressure on the site. He swings for the double, only gets away with one, but it leaves Eastor isolated into the 1-on-3. Will not make a difference. 11-8, but a very important gun round for Aggo to pick up, and they do.
Yes, they do. As you would expect, right? Double up. I mean, it's extremely hard to shut down, especially when you're running through a smoke, when you're running through a very narrow corridor and you're not denying the defenders or the defenders anything whatsoever. As Movistar Riders take another timeout, this time the second already. They'll be taking a moment to discuss their options. They have money, they have the capabilities. Now, let's see if they have what it takes in their spirit to try and break Excomago. Remember, folks, this is a best of one. And Excomago right now very close to taking it home, to driving it home. If Movistar Riders do not wake up and bring about a new Movistar Riders, almost, you could say, they will be done for in this one map. 11-8. And Excomago still on the double AWP.
I do like this MHL, seeming like he's got the confidence behind him here. Will be able to return the early frag. MHL did lose his co-companion sniper, though. Furlan falls early. Oscarish, though, if there's a flash coming through here, it might be worth the peek. Mopos, though, gets the drop on him. A dink to come, but not enough. Job was finished by Groovy at least. MHL going to be rotating. Groovy finds a second and a third in the smoke. Okay, Groovy turns up beautifully. Eastor now left alone, and again, Aggo seeming back to winning ways. Money gone from Movistar Riders. It was a perfect round to win, and well, they turn up greatly. Eastor tagged down low with the AWP, finished off by MHL. 12-8, eco round to come. Like you said, Excomago, they're on their way to looking a lot more convincing now here on Train.
Yes, they are. Oscarish really seemingly leading his squad by example. He's not maybe fragging hard, but he's able to keep them in check. And it shows that he has the experience from the past. He has the respect of these players, and they listen to him. They listen to the calls he makes. And Oscarish right now, he's going to be calling out a bit of a defensive A posture. Oh, Grubby blinded, finds two. Is going to find a third. Well, even if he doesn't, he's done his job already. As you can see, it's going to be quick returns. MHL and Oscarish, nades landing. Sandwich going to be lost with the bomb included. And Lowell, you can't really do much. 13-8. And we are now, I believe, in the final stretch of this map, effectively, of this best of one. I mean, 13-8. And with the full buy coming up for Movistar Riders, this is where they have to prove to us. Well, excuse me, let me rephrase that. They have to prove to themselves they can still win this. Because right now they seem mentally defeated, and that's the scariest part of it all. It's not like they're not hitting shots. It's more about they're just getting absolutely blasted. Ooh, Furlan. Yeah, let's see how it goes.
Oh, he realizes the position already. The flashbang keeps the player blind. There's nothing that Mopods could do. That is a beautiful play. A lot of players would just peek off of the back of the Molotov, but it still gives them vision, and flashbang will get the job done this time. Biku already spots the info down. Molotov over the top. Comes a little late. Gives them at least a chance to be prepared for this take, though. Steel. Close and personal he goes. Gets in front of the flashbang. No reason to overextend as of yet. They are still thinking that this is a A-sided approach, although Fiku might have just ratted that out now. Smokes down into connector, gives them an angle to play with. Molotov over the top will do its job, but barely. Heaven play from Lowell gets away with a frag. Players burning, trade from NHL down to the 3-on-2. Alex, good response, but with health low on Lowell, it is down to Alex himself. Got to play from the back of the site here, and yeah, already dead. 20 health left. Single bullet will do the job, and of course it will. 14-8, and Ago very convincingly on their way up to map and series point. Just one round separating them. Round loss bonus is good, but not good enough to ensure a full purchase. They might guarantee AKs and Kevlar. That's probably the safer buy to make here. They do not want Ago up to round number 15, but either way, they are looking clean here on the road to victory so far, and it's going to take a Galil buy to slow them down. But whatever Ago have been thrown at so far by Movistar Riders, they've handled incredibly well on the CT side.
Exactly, and you know, this is a scary Ago side, something we haven't seen perhaps in a little while, how well they're performing here on the CT. Usually it would be their T sides that they're more effective on, as they, you know, they might not have the most constructed of plans and rounds, but they definitely have that element of ferociousness to them that they can display in every single moment. But let's see what the goal here is. MHL is going to be watching Ivy. Well, he seems to be keeping an eye out on it. And he will miss his shot, but it's still Verlin that found the entry beforehand. The Molotov going to be smoked off. Wait a second. What? Whoa, okay, this is a little bit crazy. Fair enough. Down to Lowell and Steel it goes. And oh, yeah, Lowell was spotted already.
Timing couldn't be worse there, unfortunately. AWP might even get the job done, yeah.
Yep.
MHL drafted in to take out Lowell, leave Steel isolated. This is 15-8, but scarily, it's probably 16 on the way as well. No bomb plant to come. This is round gone, money limited. AKs and Galils is all they'll have yet again, and Ago finding it easy to close down these types of rounds. This should be where the series ends here.
That's pretty much, yeah, that's pretty much the should be the end of the road, although I'll let myself be surprised. We've got 4 Galils, 5 Galils. This has been a long time since I've seen 5 Galils, but let's see where it gets them to. They've got a little bit of utility to support it as well. Hopefully there's going to be no freaky rushes towards A and just hoping to get the round itself. As it seems, it is going to be a bit of a slow take, take, as Movistar Riders are approaching the B site. And this is a full B execution. I like it. They're going to go back to basics, and it just might work.
All depends on the timing of Fiku here. Groovy assisting for the first. Better, though, this time. Moppo's doing the damage. Alex in there with the Astor as well to trade the kills. This is a lot better. Much more convincing. Movistar Riders keeping themselves in the round for now. Furlan gets away with a refrag, but not that it will make a difference. MHL left isolated and a simple shutdown. More convincing this time. The B bomb site, you know, it can be a choke point, and Movistar Riders, they take advantage of it. That is exactly what you want to see. A round away from double digits. Ago back onto the rebuy, though. They will be able to put up, again, a further second AWP. Money now gone at this point. Movistar Riders using their tactical timeouts. Interestingly, Ago, they've not touched a single tactical timeout, just showing how comfortable that they have been during this game, and that's the one thing that we premised. Movistar Riders, they have walked into Ago's backyard here in terms of playing Train. It's one of their most comfortable maps, not just statistically, but it's one of their preferable maps to play, especially in a best of one, and we can see that just shining through right now. It's scoreline, an exact sort of dependency of that.
At the very least, they're not going to be falling too quickly here. That's the one thing, although, as you said, it is definitely the playground of Ago, and the double up set up here by XCOM Ago is going to come to mind once more. We are going to be... We're going to be looking through a lens here to see if Movistar Riders can find a crack in the shell. Any sort of opening, any sort of fickle of chance that they need to take. The B hit was very successful, the previous. You could see that they not only timed it, but played it as best as they could. But then they pushed down B again through a smoke. And all the words in the world will not help manage this, will not help contain this, nor, how to say, fix this. And, yeah. A 2v5 against a double up with Fiku already on the flank.
Yeah.
Ladies and gents, not to be negative, but, my big butts, this is not looking sweet, nor is it looking good, nor is it looking even possible. Let's find out if it actually might have a smidge of chance. 37 and counting. Fiku's already hard on their tails, or hot on their trail. And by the time they get into main, Fiku's already going to have an angle here. You got to be kidding me. Just look at Fiku. He's already spotted. He already knows this. He's like, yeah, guys, they're pushing out mid. Let's go for it. And even if they get fragged, what do you do when Fiku does this? Oh, excuse me, Gruby, not Fiku. Apologies. Fiku went pop. But either way, it doesn't matter. Yeah. It's 69. That's it. That's the end of the line.
Right back into the victory of Ago, as easy as that. Very simple wrap-up. Very simple cleanup of the series. And maybe, as to be expected, like we said, Movistar Riders, they took a massive risk playing Train. Looking at this, the best of one itself, obviously, we know the best of ones, a couple of days in advance. We know what team's going to be played. Looking at the maps, I was like, yeah, this should be an Inferno or a Mirage, something very middle ground. And Train, statistically, Train was middle ground. But you look at Ago's previous, you look at the love of the scene for the map, you look at the comfortable aspects of Ago, challenging Ago on a best of one on Train. Just wasn't it, unfortunately.
That's a huge risk, right? It's like, that's such a huge risk to take because XCOM Ago, in the past, they were looking a little bit weak. They had their bad showings. Even on Train, they had a bit of a wonky performance. But for the most part, you really want to avoid Train if at all possible because, as you said, it's their playground. It's amongst their better maps in general. And if you want to avoid getting smashed hard at times, you definitely want to avoid Train in a best of one. And yeah, Movistar Riders, they had the time, they had the time to prepare for this. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. Unfortunately, just wasn't good enough, I guess, whatever preparation they might have made. Good luck in the losers match for them in the elimination series. For Ago, though, they'll have to face off either North and Ambush, which that's a little bit of a different beast to deal with. But we'll get to it once we have that best of one, of course, being played out and all that good jazz.
Yeah, that's going to be a very interesting best of one. North and Ambush Danish derby, especially with North losing their early best of one last week as well. There's always a cause for concern there. I think if Ambush take the victory, it won't be an easy fashion. It'll be like a 16-13, snatching a couple rounds. But we'll discuss all things in that best of one after we come back from our break. Make sure, though, before we go, that you are entering the Skin Baron giveaway that they have provided for you. Make sure you go down into the chat, !! giveaway. I think there might be a command. If not, go to @TheEsportsBible on Twitter. Check their pinned tweet. You'll be able to enter when you sign up or when you enter. There's Gleam links. There's a retweet option. Tag a friend. Like the post. Follow the account. It's as easy as that. An M9 on offer, an M4A1S, and vouchers for the Skin Baron website as well. So go and check that out. We'll be back, though, in around 40 minutes' time to start breaking down North versus Ambush. Do not go anywhere, and we'll see you soon.
you.